Good morning, grade 6, SPH Homeroom. Today is the first day that you get to see my face after our home-based learning started, but I would like to take time each day for us to do devotions together and inspired by what the teachers are doing. So right now, all the teachers are going through the book of Phillipians. And so we've already done chapter 1, verses 1 through 11. And so now where we're going to start for our class is chapter 1, 12, verse 12 through 19. So it's up to you if you would like to do this. Reading along on your own, I encourage you to do that. So just a little explanation of the book of Philippians. It's written by Paul while he's in prison to the church in Philippi, which he started, and he met the wonderful person named Lydia, who you guys all know and love as my daughter, but she was there and she was known as a worshiper of God, but he was also imprisoned. And while he was in prison, God, through a miracle, released him and used him to bring the gospel and hope and light to the jailer. And then after many things was released, and now he's writing this letter to encourage, to teach, and correct the church that's in Philippi right now. So we take that as encouragement because, and as a need for us, because the teachers and the church there, they needed correction as well. Even though they were brought and started up by Paul, the great apostle, they too, just like us, need a continuous amount of transformation, change of heart, growing in who Jesus is. So, for you, please start by reading Philippians 1, 12 through 26. 12 through 26, do that. Pause the video, and then we'll pick up right where you left off. Okay, now you've read it. There's a lot of interesting things. Paul is writing in prison, and he's writing about how his joy is still complete. It's still there. It's not taken away, even though he's in jail, and he's talking about how even through this time he's been able to witness to the jail guards. And this all should bring the church of Philippi back to the time when Paul first came to them and when their church was started. And so Paul responds in a very Paul way, and it speaks to the testament and his life purpose, and that is to bring glory to Jesus. And that is through witnessing, through teaching, and bringing people closer to him. So we see that God's glory is what Paul lives for, and to see Christ glorified through everything. And so even though I'm in prison, I don't count it as loss. I don't see it as something that's hindering me, but it's this point of joy, because he can still proclaim the gospel there and still being used mightily. So we see who Paul is. And that's the point where we want to go with our devotion this morning, is Paul speaking to a church that they're worried. He's encouraging them. And the church, just like us today, we often take our eyes off of what is the most important thing. What is Christ and his story, his work, and his power of saving us. And we start to put our gaze upon other things. And those other things could be money, right? Those other things can be something good like family. Those other things can be something scary, like the coronavirus, which causes everyone to go through a frantic scare. He says, you're making those things, the imprisonment, the rule of the Roman people, my inability to come and visit you, as something bigger and not as important, or something more important than what God can do and his work for you. So he takes that and he says, you can see me. I am in chains, but I don't let my eyes fixate on it. My hope, my eyes, my purpose, my focus is on Christ in all of this, that his name would be glorified and God will be glorified in it. And so he's encouraging the church, don't look down, because we face something big like the coronavirus, and we wake up every day and we look to see what the news says, what's happening to this person, who has it now, where is it spreading, and it consumes us, and we begin to be fearful. We start panic buying all these kinds of things when we've taken our eyes off of Christ. And so Paul, just like he was calling the church of the Philippians back to putting their eyes and focusing on Christ in this time, so too are we. We are focusing on Christ again in this time, because as we focus on Christ, others will see, why aren't you as scared? Why aren't you worried about dying? Right? Why is there this weird aroma about you that doesn't seem to care for your own self, but you're taking care of others? And so through this, and our theme this year is Children of Light, we become a better picture of who Christ is and who his followers are. And so others are drawn in, so that even through something like the coronavirus, God will be glorified through how you respond, through how you keep your eyes and your mind and your heart and your pace focused on him, running the race to him, even in this time. And so my encouragement for you when you go today is think about how you can witness through this time with the coronavirus by fixing your eyes on Christ, not being distracted, not letting it be pulled down by anything, but on him. And that is my hope for you these days. Share that witness, share your hope, because we have hope. The coronavirus is not the end of the story. Jesus has written it, and we know the end of the story. I'll see you all next time. Amen. God bless you. And to answer the question somebody posed to me is the type of deodorant that I use is Pure Sport by Allspice or Old Spice, and I like it. It's not too strong. It seems to last me long enough, and I'm already married, so why change? Have a good one. See ya.